Your next income leap may require more than a new marketing strategy. Are you ready? Hi, it's me, Rebecca Wiener McGregor, and I am the Anxiety Eraser. Welcome to another episode of Effective Immediately, the show where we talk mindset, healthy emotions, hypnosis, self-leadership, and we give you lots of tips and tricks about how you can change your life effective immediately. So, as a transformational leader, your next income leap, your leap from 100K, 200K, 300K to 500, and even 700K or beyond, will likely require you to work on more than a marketing strategy. What am I talking about here? I'm talking about our friend resistance. Resistance is that part of you that stops you. It paralyzes you, confuses you, causes irritation, frustration, anxiety, stresses out your nervous system and your adrenals, and even may give you that dark night of the soul feeling like you just want to shut it all down and walk away. You might call this upper limiting. You might call this your income ceiling. But newsflash, if you are having resistance about increasing your income, you're not alone. You're pretty normal. Why does this happen? Because high achievers like you, who begin to do the work on themselves, who begin to see a need for their work in this world, to share their gifts, have often gained those gifts because of work that they had to do to save themselves. Transformational leaders, high achievers, high performers, usually have just the right amount of survival that they have had to do to help them become the person they are. And what happens when we have to be in survival mode, when we have to take care of ourselves? That is rooted in fear. That is rooted in the need to stay alive or stay safe or to stay okay, to stay visible, to stay valuable within their family or their community or their relationships. And these are not conscious thoughts that we're having, right? These aren't conscious things that we're thinking about all the time, like, I need to stay safe, I need to be okay. Maybe sometimes they are. But most of the time, when we are working through our different experiences, our limitations, our old stories, our old programs, our old paradigms, we're looking at how they're showing up in our life today, not actually what the root of them was. So let's take some time here to dive into this and to honor the feelings, to look at and acknowledge and honor the feelings, the situations, the circumstances that may have created upper limits for you or someone you love. All right, let's do this. Now, the first one that comes to mind, of course, is a feeling of lack of worthiness. Now, it doesn't mean that you're walking around in your life every day thinking, oh, I'm not worthy of having success. I'm not worthy of the success I have. I'm not worthy of creating more success in my life. Most of the time, we're not walking around with these thoughts, right? But how they may show up is that I have to constantly prove my worth. I have to prove myself every single day. And it may come to mind for you that there's always room for improvement saying. Now think about that. You may have a connection to that statement, you may not, but the feeling that you can always do better, and that feeling of you can always do better pushes you, drives you, instead of I'm in alignment, I'm honoring who I am, I'm honoring my gifts, I'm honoring where I am in my life. The driving force can be this undercurrent of, but I can always do better. I can always be better. Maybe if I get better, maybe if my results are more, maybe if I have more clients, maybe if I'm proving myself more, that I can actually make that income leap that I want. It may show up in your life like, I have to prove that I'm smart enough constantly. I have to keep showing and proving that I'm smart enough, smart enough, smart enough. I have to keep learning. I have to keep knowing. I have to keep my eyes on everything. So there's this undercurrent of stress happening. Nothing can get in or out of your space without you knowing about it. That includes miracles. Now, do all of us want to run a business based on miracles happening all of the time? Yeah. Yeah, we do. Wouldn't it be wonderful if we just honored ourselves enough, we honored the process enough, and we did just the right amount of aligned action that miracles could happen? Yeah. But when we are proving our worthiness all of the time, we have this undercurrent, this feeling possibly that we have to make the miracles happen. We have to be the miracle. It's a lot of freaking pressure. When we put that kind of pressure on ourselves, also known as resistance, it's really hard to grow past that. It can be very hard to grow past that. All right, another way it might be showing up is I have to know what everyone is doing at all times so I can make sure it's right and they're not letting me down. So along with not wanting to let anyone else down, the truth is we don't want to be let down. So this might show up for you with trusting other people to do any work in your business so that you can focus on your genius and thereby being able to expand your income to the next level. Another one is I have to know everything. This may show up in your life as an unconscious thought, an unconscious feeling that you are constantly checking in and feeling into other people's emotions so that you can handle them to keep yourself safe. Now, in your formative years, this may have been about actually keeping you safe. It may have actually been about keeping you protected, you protecting yourself in this way. And now, keeping you safe means nobody knows more than you. So you can't be rejected because this is how you prove your worthiness. By being smart, by knowing everything, by being able to assess everybody's emotions. This will often show up in transformational leaders as being highly, highly empathetic, high empathy, highly intuitive, being able to tap into other people's emotions and know what they need even before they do. Because this is how they kept themselves safe. This is how they kept themselves valuable. So it may have been they needed this information during those formative years, like I mentioned, to keep themselves actually safe, to understand how their parent figures were feeling so they knew how to adjust their behavior if necessary. It may have been needing more attention, wanting more attention, craving more attention because something happened in the household that the attention got shifted. Whether it was a new baby, a new business, whatever it could have been, feeling and knowing that something else has more attention as a child causes us to crave more attention. So what we will do is start paying attention to what everybody needs. What makes them happy? What makes them sad? What makes them irritated? What makes them joyful? And we will start operating appropriately. Our behaviors then will become about taking care of everyone else's needs. Makes you valuable when you know what everybody else needs. Makes you valuable when you can make other people feel better. Our subconscious mind, trying to keep us safe, will say that this is the path. This is the way to keep everything safe. This is the way to keep the family going. This is the way to get the attention that you need. This is the way to get your accolades. You become the person who holds everything together. Now, if you are doing this in your business, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of pressure. Your nervous system may be acting up on you. You may be feeling buzzing, of energy. You may be feeling exhausted. You may be feeling heaviness on your chest, tightness on your chest, churning in your stomach. You may be feeling any one of a number of physical responses, feeling like your body is in survival mode. And then you'll realize, okay, my body is behaving like I'm in survival mode, but I'm not just surviving here. I'm thriving. My life is really good. Things are going really well, and I'm ready to take my next income leap. But your body doesn't know it. Your body doesn't realize that you're safe because you're ready to take this leap. You're ready for more. You're wanting more. It's getting that idea, that fuel, that information from the rest of you that you're ready for that next income leap. And what happens then? I better start acting up again. I better start paying close attention. I better become hypervigilant. I better start paying attention to the needs of my team. I better start paying attention to the needs of my clients. I have to be better. Everything has to be better. I have to pay more attention. You can see what kind of a cycle this is, and you can feel probably how exhausting it is. Now, if you're feeling any of this, if you're noticing that this applies to you, this is not a place for judgment. This is a place for acknowledgement. Okay, let me remind you, like I always do, that all of this is data. This doesn't mean that you are bad or wrong or messing up. It means that you have reached a place where your body says, okay, this is my limit. This is where I'm comfortable right now. And it maybe has taken you a lot of energy to get to where you are right now. So another income leap, doubling your income, tripling your income is going to take more of you. So your body is in resistance to that because of all the energy it's going to take. Naturally so, right? Trying to keep you safe, trying to keep you alive. That kind of energy expenditure can be very, very scary for your nervous system. Don't worry. I've got answers for you. Okay. How it may show up with difficulty in receiving. The people in my life that I've known have never passed this income level, and I don't want to abandon them. So I'm going to stay right here. I don't want to outshine anyone. I don't want to out-earn anyone. I don't want them to think that I'm different from them because that would mean rejection. And we learned about last week. We talked about being rejected would almost mean abandonment and death. And those are the things that we are scared of most. Wanting to keep yourself just like everybody else. It's the keeping up with the Joneses, but not surpassing the Joneses because that's scary. All right? Okay. This might mean that there are people in our lives who have done really, really well, and maybe they have hurt me or my family, so I'm afraid to become like them. The underlying limiting belief here is such a strong, powerful one that it shows up in our media, in our movies, in our stories, in our books, in our dramas, and that is that rich people are bad. So if I'm already doing well, I've stretched my capacity to do really well, to be in this 100K, 200, 300K place where I'm making money and feeling good, but knowing there's more impact for me to make, more income for me to make. Would that put me in the league? Would that get me closer to being one of those wealthy people who are bad? That most common limiting belief is that wealthy people are bad or rich people are jerks. It shows up in our movies when the bad person has all the money and all the resources to carry out their terrible plan. We get this subconscious messaging all the time. Okay, notice, acknowledge, but no judgment, remember? Okay. Another one is other people can have success, but I don't have what it takes. I see other people having success. Maybe it looks easy for them. Maybe it looks simple. Maybe we think they have more ability to receive, or they've done the right things in their lives so that they can have the things that they want. Maybe we think they're a better person. Maybe we think they're more equipped, smarter, something, or better, taller, shorter, whatever the thing might be. And so we shut off our ability to receive because in our eyes, we're not quite good enough. We're not quite as good as the successful people, the success at the level that we want. And these are very, very hidden, unconscious things. And it might show up as you feeling jealousy and feeling comparison, feeling like, well, that's the way they can have it. I don't know if I can have it, or if they can have it, I want it, but there's something some resistance that you keep bumping up against, some part of you believing that they're better than you because they already have what you want. Now, these may seem so basic, right? We talk about these kinds of limiting beliefs, these kinds of resistance, these kinds of upper limits all the time. And you may think you have surpassed them because you think differently. But if you have not addressed the root issues, the subconscious mind, which is running 95% of the show, is going to stop us or stall us or make it really, really hard, take a lot of energy for us to get where we're going. So being loving with yourself, looking at all the data here, acknowledging but not fighting with yourself about it, not putting yourself down, but just simply acknowledging that this is the data that I can use to go forward. Okay, another thing that might be showing up is difficulty connecting. This may be related to times in your life when you felt you couldn't trust what someone was saying to you because their words and their actions didn't match. Their incongruence would be confusing to you. It would be unsafe for you to connect. So then that connection, that inability or that difficulty to deeply connect and trust is a pattern that happens throughout your life. You have probably pushed through this. You have probably worked through this in a relationship to get your business where it is. And when you're ready to take that next income leap, it may show up as a place where you need healing. It may show up as the betrayal that has happened in your life already. And you may be wondering when the other shoe is going to drop. Like, if I have it so good, will it all be taken away from me? This can be actually a fear of success. If I do really well, and I'm not quite sure how I got here, and I'm not quite sure what the recipe is, and I want to grow forward, I want to take that next leap in my income, I want to take that next leap with calling in many more clients, not just a few more. I may be afraid of what will be required of me on the other side of that. Who will I have to trust? Will I have to expand my team even more? Who will I be able to trust? Who will be my right hand? Who will be the person that I can share this with? Who will be in my life then that I'll have to figure out a way to trust and give up control to? And by that, I mean control of your books. Maybe it's a full-time CFO. Maybe it is adding another person to your bookkeeping team, or more people to manage your community. And you have to give up a little bit of control every time you hire someone and let them take on their experiences, take on their responsibilities. This may be feeling that relationships and trust aren't for me, that you've been going it alone for such a long time in your personal life, that there is a feeling that I don't want to change for anyone else. I don't want the disruption of anyone else. And you can see having this underlying feeling would create that same feeling in your business, that it's painful to add more people to your life. It's painful to expand your team. Not everyone can be trusted. You can see these are big ways that it would be harmful to your business being its own entity, to have all of the feelings, all of the resistance, all of the limiting beliefs that you've carried through your life being inflicted on your business. Now this happens. This is completely normal, okay? So please look at this as data. You know me. You know that I am willing to talk far and wide about fears and limitations. And I would love it if in this world that we could acknowledge our fears, acknowledge our limitations, and speak to our friends as willingly about them as we're just talking about having a piece of spinach caught in our teeth. These fears and limitations, everyone is walking around with them. And if they're not, if they're pretending they don't exist, they're in a whole different set of limitations, right? But knowing that we have these places, these limits, these walls that we're going to bump into doesn't make us bad. The walls aren't even bad. The feelings aren't bad. They're actually really helpful, showing you, directing you right to where your limiting beliefs are. And the best part of that is we can heal the limiting belief. We can heal the upper limit. We can help you move past it together by releasing the emotion and the pain of the experiences that cause them. Yes, it is just that simple. So as you're looking at this and you are wondering, okay, I have felt loneliness. I have felt like maybe I'm better off alone. And how is that in my business, that I want to be the Lone Ranger? I want to be the one who gets it. You know, many people reach a space in their businesses where they get to $1 million or $500,000 with one person helping them, one VA. You can see that there is potential then to look at, am I afraid of allowing other people? Maybe their business doesn't require it, but maybe the next income leap would require more help, more aid, more guidance, more expert advice, more staff to handle more clients. And transformational leaders do not get in the business to play small. They have a vision that they want to bring to the masses. So if you are here, if you are feeling this feeling, I want to bring my gifts to the masses. There's something that I want to teach and help the world understand. I want to help the world transition because of what I have to share. That's no small thing. That's something to be really proud of, because not everybody has the willingness to do that. And it's also an opportunity for you to allow yourself to have the support that you need. Leaders don't have to do things alone. Leaders need support just like everyone else. So be really loving with yourself with the data that you have uncovered today, and know that you didn't create the problem. Newsflash. You didn't create the problem, but we can solve the problem together. All right, so I help transformational leaders like you release resistance to the dream, release the upper limits, release the income ceiling. And when they're ready to leave it behind, we can do so easily so they can have their next big income leap to 500K or even into 7 figures without starting over, without a brand new marketing strategy, and without turning their life upside down. So if you are ready to work with me, if you are ready to get more information about how I can help you, you can go to RebeccaWiener.com, or you can go directly to callwithrebecca.com and set up your free call with me. All right, so now as you look at all this data, You look at yourself. What do you see in yourself? Do you see yourself when you are honest with yourself? Have you been pushing for that next income leap? Have you been feeling resistance to your big dream? Take a moment to send some love to that part of you, okay? And now for your effective immediately moment of the week, as you are sending love to that part of you, put your hand on your heart. Anytime you feel this resistance coming up, anytime you are wondering, okay, why is this happening? Why am I bumping up against this belief again? Why can't I just quite get where I want to get? This marketing strategy isn't working. I'm not fully behind it. I'm feeling frustrated. Whatever the thing is that you are noticing, I want you to ask, what is the fear here? What part of me is nervous to move forward? What part of me fears a deeper level of exhaustion by moving forward? What part of me fears that it's unsafe to move forward? Look at all of that as data. Send lots and lots of love to that part. Take your step. Take your next aligned action. Come home to yourself and ask again, what part of me is nervous to move forward? What is the limitation here? What is the old story that I'm running on? Asking yourself without judgment, without anger or frustration, but just a desire to understand so you can unlock it and move forward. All right, be super loving with yourself as always. When you're ready for my help, please reach out and I'll see you next week. Bye for now.